Coach, the defense was on their heels the entire game, and yet you go into overtime, and they did a really good job. What adjustments, mentally or physically, did the team do, at least defensively, in those extra sessions?
Yeah, I thought we played our tails off on defense from a heart and from a mentality standpoint. Obviously, we weren't good enough on first down. They were in second and short and third and short situations way too long. Their heavy sets gave us problems, whether they just went extra offensive linemen and created a long edge, or they went unbalanced, created challenges for us. We stepped up and made plays at critical moments, but we had other opportunities on offense, defense, and special teams that could have made big plays to end the game and did not.
Craig Meyer, then Kyle Andrews.
James, where did you notice the most discomfort or most rust or just things being off of his what areas or aspects of his game?
Yeah, we just had way too many guys that played significant roles in that game that did not practice. Full speed, full go all week long. Practice is obviously really important. We had way too many guys that missed, and Sean was one of those guys.
Kyle Andrews and Rich Carcella. No Kyle? John Sauber?
James, was there any thought to pulling Sean at any point after it looked like he was struggling with this injury?
We felt like Sean gave us the best opportunity to win.
Rich Carcella and Audrey Snyder.
James, how much did the run defense miss PJ?
I mean, obviously, PJ's played a lot of football for us here. He's obviously a captain for us, and has been a tremendous player and a big part of our defense. So, not having him factored in, there's no doubt about it.
Audrey Snyder, then Mike Gross.
James, at what point in the week were you confident that Sean was going to be able to do it?
We had confidence that it was going to happen, but we weren't sure. We got better every single day. The feedback that we were getting from the trainers and the doctors and Sean is that they thought he'd be able to go today. But obviously that was a day-to-day thing.
Mike Gross and Mark Brennan.
James, was Sean instructed not to run? Was he limited in terms of his ability to? I mean, obviously he wasn't in terms of his ability to run, but was he instructed not to run? Was that a specific limitation of his play style?
No, but obviously we had to be smart. He was limited today. That's why we're trying to mix the run and the pass in there to take some of that off of him. Obviously, it's a big part of his game that he didn't have today, obviously.
Mark Brennan, then Joe Giuliano.
James, on Thursday night, you said you put a lot of time into the running game during the bye week and then this past week, and that you felt pretty comfortable with it. So can you put your finger on why it wasn't quite clicking again this game?
Yeah, I think the combination of, guys that did not practice, I think combination of a wet day, the threat of the pass not being there, a limited Sean, all of it factored in. You can't go from heavy pass to heavy run in 1 week. You got to be able to be mixed and be balanced, and we weren't able to do that today.
Joe Giuliano, then Greg Pickle. Joe?
Joe Giuliano?
Joe Giuliano. Joe?
Sorry, James, I just came here.
Okay.
I don't know what you've been asked already. So,
It's okay.
Just describe the problems in the overtime. Just came over the goal line.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we were struggling on offense all day long. Those same issues showed up, obviously in overtime periods with the 2-point plays. Very similar to some of the issues that they had, that our defense did a good job. Obviously we didn't get the job done. I think it was 9 overtimes or whatever it was. There was plenty of plays and plenty of opportunities for us to end it, and either we did not execute or we did not make plays when we had opportunities to do, and that's on offense and defense.
Greg Pickle, then Andrew Callista.
What was your message to the team in the locker room after the game as you guys get ready to move forward after this?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest part of my job is after a tough loss to stand there in the locker room and give them what they need to hear at that moment. My natural inclination is to start coaching and going over the issues that we had today on the field. It's not the right time for it. To save that till Sunday. It's not my natural. It's not my natural the way I'm kind of wired. So it's the hardest part of my job is standing up there in front of the team, the coaches, the trainers, obviously all the players, and address those things after a tough loss.
Andrew Callista, then Neil Rudell.
Coach, Sean took what appeared to be a cheap shot. He was hunched over. Nobody came to his defense out there. Is that a meanness that's maybe missing from the team, or would you like to see somebody come to defend your captain and quarterback?
What I'd like to do, if there's a late hit on the quarterback, I'd like for the officials to handle that. I don't want my players, if that's what you're asking, if you want my players to come and retaliate, I don't know if that's the right thing. So I don't really even understand the question if that's what you're talking about. If you're asking our players to retaliate and get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Last two questions, Neil Rudell, then Dave Jones.
James, do you have much feeling about the NCAA overtime rule in general? The two-point play, your thoughts on that of being in the game this long?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the model was to limit these type of games, to try to end it. And I don't know if, obviously, this is a good representation of that because it didn't do that today.
Dave?
James, Illinois is a Big Ten team, and they had a rest just like you did. They had a bye. They really played hard. But this is arguably the worst team in the Big Ten. Did you have your team ready to play this team?
Yeah, obviously we did not have our guys ready to play. I think obviously there's a difference between playing Iowa on the road and having that type of loss with the type of injuries we had going into our bye week. But at the end of the day, all that matters is we get the job done, and we did not today. And I did not today.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.